Our knowledge of the mind, consciousness, and the human experience is still being shaped by the significant legacy that one of modern psychology's most famous philosophers, Carl Jung, left behind. His philosophy centers on profound understandings of human nature, the unconscious mind, and the individuation process, a path towards self-realization. The idea that in order to truly become who we are meant to be, we need to embrace the parts of ourselves that we are most scared of, our shadows, our fears, and the potential we are hesitant to accept. This is one of Jung's most effective concepts. This movie will examine how the ideas of Carl Jung might lead to spiritual fulfillment, mental wellness, and personal development. The shadow, facing the internal darkness. Jung's worldview revolves around the idea of the shadow, the unconscious aspect of the psyche that houses the characteristics, aspirations, and feelings we reject or repress, often because we believe they are immoral or incompatible with society's norms, is known as the shadow. But these rejected aspects of ourselves don't just go away. They are there in the unconscious, impacting our feelings, ideas, and actions in ways we might not even be aware of. Jung maintained that the rejection of the shadow is mostly responsible for our inner turmoil and misery. We develop a split psyche, split between the deeper components of our personalities that we conceal and the parts of ourselves that are brought to the top by driving these portions of ourselves into the unconscious. This leads to a feeling of fragmentation, and we cannot become complete unless we face and incorporate these buried parts of ourselves. According to Jung, accepting and embracing your shadow is the first step toward becoming the person you are terrified to be. The darker aspects of your psyche, the resentment, fear, envy, selfishness, or other qualities you may have suppressed, must be faced during this process. According to Jung, you can start to comprehend these parts of yourself, work through them, and eventually transform into a more whole and genuine person by bringing them into consciousness. Uniqueness, the way to wholeness. Jung considered the process of individuation to be the primary goal of life, and it lies at the core of his philosophy. The process of individuation involves integrating all components of your psyche, including the shadow, the anima, or animus, the unconscious feminine side in males and masculine side in women, and other archetypal aspects of the mind, in order to become the fullest form of yourself. Self-realization is the result of this process, when the conscious and unconscious facets of the self are brought into balance. Being more authentic is the goal of identification, not changing who you are as a person. According to Jung, individuation is the process of fulfilling each person's inherent potential. This trip can be difficult, though, as it often forces you to face your fears and face your darkest sides. It entails confronting your anxieties, vulnerabilities, and the hard facts about who you are. This is a very personal procedure that is unique to each person. Some could discover that they have repressed their artistic side, while others might have concealed their drive or their ability to love. Whatever the case may be, the aim of individuation is to bring the unconscious into conscious awareness by a brave self-examination. The Animus and Anima's role. In addition, Jung presented the ideas of the Anima and Animus, which are essential to comprehending his theory of becoming the person you're frightened to be. The unconscious feminine side of a man is represented by the Anima, and the unconscious male side of a woman is represented by the Animus. These parts of the psyche are present in every person, regardless of gender, and are influenced by personal experiences, inherited behavioral patterns, and societal standards. According to Jung, individuation cannot occur until the Anima or Animus is integrated. For men, this can mean accepting traits like emotional sensitivity, intuition, and nurturing that are typically associated with femininity. It could entail incorporating traits more typically associated with men, such as strength, independence, and assertiveness for women. The aim is to completely embrace all facets of the self, including those that have been repressed or ignored, rather than to fit into gender norms that society has traditionally defined. People might attain a greater feeling of balance and wholeness in their lives by accepting and integrating their Anima or Animus. As a result of this integration, people are also able to interact with others more honestly, since they are more aware of both their inner and external environments. Archetypes, common patterns in human psychology. Archetypes are universal symbols or behavioral patterns found in the collective unconscious, according to Jungian psychology. These archetypes, which can be found in myths, tales, and religious traditions from many countries, symbolize essential human experiences. Among the many important archetypes that Jung recognized are the trickster, the shadow, the wise old man, the mother, and the hero. For individuation and personal development, according to Jung, an understanding of these archetypes is crucial. You can acquire understanding of the deeper forces influencing your behavior and intentions by identifying the ways in which these archetypes appear in your own life. For instance, you can come to the realization that you have been assuming the persona of the hero, continuously attempting to overcome obstacles and establish your value. Alternatively, you can relate to the trickster, who makes his way through the world by cunning and deception. The mask we wear, the persona. The idea of the persona, the social mask or personality we project onto the outside world, was also presented by Jung. Cultural conventions, societal expectations, and the roles we play in both our personal and professional life all influence the persona. Although the persona is essential for interacting with others, Jung cautioned that an excessive identification with it may result in a loss of authenticity. Because they are too devoted to their persona, many people are scared to embrace who they really are. They worry that if they take off their social mask, people will reject them, think they're weak, or misunderstand them. But according to Jung, full self-realization necessitates letting go of the persona and embracing the more profound, real parts of oneself. Dreams, the unconscious doorway. Dreams were an effective means of gaining insight into the unconscious mind and promoting human development, according to Jung. He thought that dreams offer a window into the innermost workings of the mind, exposing wants, conflicts, and fears that we might not be conscious of during the day. Dreams frequently include archetypal images and symbolism that might clarify the unconscious forces influencing our reality. You can learn more about the facets of yourself that you are reluctant to face by examining your dreams, because it gives you access to aspects of your psyche that are normally hidden from consciousness. This can be a useful tool for individuation, faced with fear and having the courage to be yourself. The core idea of Jung's theory is conquering fear. The fear of not knowing, the fear of the unconscious, and the fear of being accepted for who you really are. It takes courage to become someone you're afraid of because it means embracing the aspects of yourself that you've repressed or denied. Jung thought that our ignorance of the unconscious mind is largely responsible for our dread. You can start to comprehend the underlying forces that influence your behavior and motivations by delving into the unconscious through shadow work, archetypes, and dreams. This knowledge can make you feel less afraid and more confident in your ability to accept every part of who you are. Final thoughts: the path to wholeness. A significant and transformational method for achieving self-realization and personal progress is provided by Carl Jung's philosophy. You can start to transform into the person you were always meant to be by facing your shadow, integrating your Anima or Animus, and learning about the archetypes that influence your life. This is a process that calls for bravery, reflection, and a readiness to confront your biggest fears. But this path has enormous benefits as well, since it brings about a greater sense of wholeness, fulfillment, and authenticity. For more content like this, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. If you have any thoughts or questions, leave them in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you.